Welcome back to Extra Time. I'm your host, Chris, chilling downtown with one of my best mates from the North End podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure to meet you. How you want to be addressed? Dave, Convery, which one do you prefer?
Whatever you want, pal.
Whatever
makes you feel comfortable.
So let's get down to the dirt.
The nitty gritty, if you will.
Exactly.
Okay.
What is up with player brands nowadays? Like, why do people follow Cristiano Ronaldo over a club like Manchester United?
This is a great question. So, we're in this new world, millennials, social media, instant gratification. So, goals, skills, even more than goals, more than wins.
Okay.
Even regardless of a result. If a guy lost 4-3, but he nutmegged the guy and he scored a hat trick.
Yeah.
The fan base is going bananas. This guy's the best because it's instant. It's automatic. We love that guy. Whereas your real guys behind the scenes, the footballers that we love and appreciate, the Patrick Vieiras, the Roy Keanes, they'll do anything for what? To get a win. They want to win more than anything. So, Leo Messi, Ronaldo, the two most popular footballers on the planet, do more than what of anybody else? Score goals.
That's fair. You know what? They're on all the headlines. They self-promote
Basketball,
themselves just how it
hockey,
is.
Goals.
It's actually kind of funny that you mentioned that. Like, let's say Ronaldo just scores one goal in a 4-1 win for Juventus.
It's massive.
Ronaldo steals the headlines.
It's not. Ronaldo scores again, but that's also because of his age.
Yeah, that is fair. That is fair. But
and Messi will hit that soon as well.
But I need to go back to something more important actually, because we're mentioning players here. But what about the clubs? How do the clubs deal with this now? Like, I know we like to say that no player is bigger than the club, but by social media standards, I think a player like we mentioned before, Cristiano Ronaldo, when he left Real Madrid, he took 1/3 of their followers and almost felt like at one point on social media.
So you make a very good point, though.
Yeah.
So clubs nowadays, and I think in this new world of social media, I think you're realizing exactly. Like even, for example, Manchester United, when they signed Zlatan Ibrahimovic, that's a huge uptick in followers, fans, just because of the brand of Zlatan.
So is that why you guys also signed like players like Bastian Schweinsteiger, Di Maria? There was a player, Memphis Depay at one point as well.
I think
social media followers.
And when we go back to Real Madrid back in the day of the whole Galacticos type signing, right? Are you signing a player for on-field ability, the skill, or like perfect example right now in the current Manchester United squad would be Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba's, for me, and this is my personal opinion, Paul Pogba's brand on and off the field is massive. Like you would be, with what he brings to the table off the field commercially, you would consider Paul Pogba to be a world-class player.
Same thing here, I say with Mesut Ozil, because like look, they're both sponsored by Adidas.
Very
both clubs
similar.
respectively are
Very
sponsored
similar.
by Adidas.
Paul Pogba also a current World Cup winner.
Exactly, Mesut Ozil, World Cup winner. We can keep going.
Totally, no, totally. But the point I'm trying to make, and I think it would go for both Ozil and Pogba. What I would say is, for me personally, neither of those two are what I would consider world-class players. No, I don't think they are. Like very bluntly. But when you buy a player and you spend that amount of money at a club like an Arsenal or a Manchester United, these are very big commercial clubs. Is your goal on what type of player you're going to get on-field performance? Are you also banking on that commercial side, what that player can bring to you? So that's the question right now. Like Manchester United, when they signed David Beckham. David Beckham, at that time, and probably throughout his career, was he one of the best right-sided midfielders? He could cross the ball and take a free kick. Was he that good? Or was he signed for the name David Beckham?
I think it was a bit of both.
And Paul Pogba, similar situation. Mesut Ozil, when he was signed by Arsenal, for me personally, phenomenal football.
I think it was a statement signing at that time.
And Sanchez, I believe, same summer?
Separate summers, I think. Afterwards, I think
one after the other?
One after the other.
I'm like, this is Arsenal starting to do it right. But like when we signed Pogba, I was very excited. I watched Paul Pogba play, Manchester United fan.
Die hard, by the way.
But he's what I would consider to be a vastly overrated player.
Okay, but is that due to the system how it is right now? Because like I know we're big tactics people here. Like, what's your ideal formation? What's your favorite formation that you've enjoyed playing in as a
Like
footballer?
that I do personally,
Yes.
but before we go to that, but like you look at Pogba in a France team,
Yeah,
Pogba's surrounded by players that are better than him, that makes his job easy.
of course.
So he looks great when he's playing for France. Like, oh, look at me, Paul Pogba. The beauty ball. Like, Paul Pogba has certain facets of his game that I do believe to be world class.
Okay.
Like his through balls are out of this world.
Yeah.
But when you've got N'Golo Kante playing around you,
Of course.
I think
that's
you and
unreal.
I would look pretty good with him beside us. But your question, tactically, I think this is a very interesting question.
Yeah.
I'm a very big believer in what the opposition offers.
Oh, so you're like one of those like pragmatic coaches that
Correct.
like, if my opponent
Correct.
releases
For
a
example.
formation, I'm trying to counter.
For example, if I'm Manchester United or I'm Bayern Munich or I'm Juventus and I'm playing Liverpool in a Champions League game,
Yeah.
I'm setting up for the counterattack.
Okay.
They want to have the ball. They want to move it around, which is fine. I want to lure them in. I'm going to put pacey wingers and a striker. I'll probably put Cristiano as my number 9.
Okay.
Play their paciest wingers, wait for them, trap them, and put them through.
Okay.
I would say maybe in Europe, they're probably the best. Them and Manchester City are probably the 2 best possession teams in the world right now.
Okay.
You have to. How you want to play?
Who's the
and
best
how-
defensive team in the world among the elite? Is it still Atletico Madrid?
Not anymore. I would say you could make a case for Liverpool.
Okay. And who's your dark horse this year in Champions League? Is it Leipzig? Is it
Nope.
Lyon? Benfica?
I don't have a dark horse. I would say my dark horse, which is not a dark horse, is Manchester City.
That's fair enough.
They've got one hurdle that they can't get over. I think they're going to get over it this year.
Really? Because I had PSG winning it. I think with Neymar coming back, everything else, and the teams rolling around, the Cardi's kind of settled in.
But you could say the same thing for PSG. You could say, who are the 2 clubs in the world that need a Champions League title more than anybody? PSG and Manchester City. Why?
Money, establishment, to just justify like all the spending. Yeah, like
Correct.
we look back. I'll bring it back to England. You look back at the Chelsea project over the past 10 years. I think we were having a discussion earlier about some of the most successful
Longer
clubs.
than 10 years, about 15 years now.
No, but I'm just looking at it like this: the most successful clubs in England. You
But
look
they've
at
won
Liverpool,
Champions
United.
United, Liverpool, and Chelsea have all won the Champions League
Exactly.
in the last 15 years.
So would that technically make Chelsea the 3rd best club in England, considering their success?
In the last
20 years, maybe.
20
yes?
years, there's 3 clubs that have been wildly successful. Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Liverpool. And when I say Liverpool, I only say Liverpool for the 2 Champions League
I'll
that they
say-
won in that time.
I'll say Arsenal is in there only because they made it to the finals a couple times.
They won the
from like a
league
European
3
standpoint.
times in that period. That
Agreed, but
counts
like
for a lot.
if we're looking at a European side, they've
Oh,
been
yeah, yeah.
disappointing, and
But
that's where I'll say that.
I'm bulking the whole thing together.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah. Like Chelsea, I think people forget how successful Chelsea had been since the Roman Abramovich takeover.
That is true.
Multiple leagues, a Champions League, a Europa League, but people write them off because
Yeah.
they're not Manchester United, because they're not Arsenal, because they're not Liverpool, because the fan base isn't at that same level. They've been wildly successful, and then also we have to be respectful. Manchester City in the last 10 years, disturbingly successful. What's the one thing they need?
Domestically,
What's the one thing they need?
they need a European success. So whether that's a Europa League or whether that is a Champions
They
League.
need a Champions League.
Agreed, but I think if they won a Europa League title, like Atletico Madrid won one not too long ago.
You remember that? That was incredible. And people also forget that they also won the league ahead of Barcelona and Real Madrid with the amount of money net spend versus the 2. I thought it was awesome. Atletico Madrid, love them. Best keeper in the world, Jan Oblak.
Well said, well said. I'm surprised that's coming from you because David De Gea used to be up there too. But
What did you say earlier? I'm pragmatic.
Yeah, well said, well said. What's your favorite position to play when you're actually playing soccer?
Central defensive midfielder,
Why is that?
because I like to control the tempo of the game.
Okay. Who's your ideal, I would like to say, like your pivot partner? Like who would you want beside
Andres Iniesta.
you? Okay.
I think he's the most underrated footballer of all time.
Okay. All right. And last question, going back to our original question of club brand versus player brand. Now, as a United fan,
Yeah.
are you more of a club fan still with the diehard for United, even though all these great legends have left, or are you more of a player fan now?
Well, I've always been a player fan. Like, my favorite Manchester United player of all time is Roy Keane.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in effort and ability, and Roy Keane was a get-it-done type of guy. So he would work harder than anybody. He would make the right play, the right pass, all of those things. So my whole thing is not your brand. My whole thing is your ability, especially more so in modern day football.
Yeah.
My number one thing is your work ethic. I want you to work hard. Like, and Ole says it, and I don't know what's going to happen with Ole. I don't know if he's the right move or the wrong guy. I don't know. I'm not Ole out. I don't know. But he makes a comment for me sometimes, and I think it resonates. But it should resonate with every football team. I don't know if you watch Sheffield United lately.
Yeah,
but,
I have.
But they get it going for me. In order for you to win a game of football, you need to work harder than the opposition.
Well said.
And I don't think that that's something that United have fully brought on board. And when you watch Liverpool and Manchester City when they win convincingly, they're running and moving more than everybody else on the field. And it starts from there. If you can start there, and you can, I think the most important thing is, if you can get your group of players to buy into that, that's the best start you can have.
Well said. Well, Dave,
it was a
pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Check out the North End podcast, guys. It's on basically wherever you can get podcasts, guys.
True.
If you guys enjoy more of these interviews where I sit down one-on-one with fans, or sometimes with even more, like, banter, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And North End podcast, one of the best podcasts I've been on. You can check me out there. Like, banter, subscribe. Again, of course, to them.
Thumbs up.
I guess this is what you call a collaboration. And we'll wrap it up there. Cheers.
Cheers.